Okay, the ladies are back. Gig said he is joining us next week, so we miss him, but he will be back. So we're gonna get into it. Happily Ever After, season 6, episode 3, Forgiving Not Forgetting. Now, guys, I have a confession, and you might need to do a wellness check because I was sad that Mike and Natalie were not on this week. And I said,
What?
oh boy, am I okay? I
The Julie
found myself,
era. What?
yeah, enter any of those sounds because I was concerned, but I was like losing sleep over this. I have so many questions about the boob picture, and I need answers to all of them.
I mean, don't we all?
We need to get to the end of that, so
we need to see.
I want to see it, but
I think also, like, I hope it's a lot more exciting than this episode was. Like, maybe that's why you're pining for it, because this was
this is desperation.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah. Nope, I agree. And they were the only missing couple, so I mean, some people I only have a few lines for, so I think we're going to do it's going to be heavy boob talk again because Angela and the twins were really running the show today. So we will start with Andre and Elizabeth.
They suck.
Yeah, the only note that I have is she had the same thing that Amira had last season where her shirt matched her lipstick, matched her eyeshadow. And is this a thing now? Because I didn't like it.
This drives me nuts.
Is it?
This was cool in 2000.
It was bad.
Wasn't even cool then.
No, it wasn't. But that was the style to match everything. I just want to take a freaking makeup brush and like blend in her fucking eyeshadow.
It was so bad. And I'm like, okay, she's got a toddler. Maybe she's busy, but just don't put it on if I don't know. That was my main takeaway of their entire segment. Allison?
So I am actually curious. One, I have to say Eleanor is very cute.
Yes.
Andre is the worst handyman alive because I was going nuts watching him trying to assemble that playhouse. Like, how hard could it be? Libby,
4 walls in a square? Yeah, I would think not.
Like, it was painful to watch. So overall, I think it's interesting, that Charlie actually did apologize, sort of, for his activity at their wedding. I mean, it was pretty terrible, and if even Charlie is apologizing for it, the level of horror that there was there, it's just the most cringy moment ever, and he gets to relive it over and over and over again, so I'm sure that I hate Charlie. He is definitely regretful. But Andre needs to meet Charlie halfway. And I don't really think that's ever going to happen. And I actually agree with Charlie for once that Andre needs to humble himself.
Really? Oh, I B&B, go ahead. I see it that way, but that's fine. Go ahead.
Charlie was blaming all of his actions on alcohol, and he just, I don't know. I just felt like his apology was bullshit. It was probably all the family's doing, just saying get along for the sake of your sister, and he was just doing it just to swallow his pride. But I cannot stand
No one was swallowing pride, though. These were two. So I'm going to talk about our friend Harmon here for a second. Mr. Be a Man. These are the two poster children for that segment, and they're trying to apologize without apologizing, and they're just being complete dicks.
They're being children.
Oh my God. I couldn't even deal with one of them, not to mention go to lunch with both of them, sitting there saying, well, I would apologize, or maybe I'd be sorry if it weren't for making all these just excuses.
That's not an apology.
Not an apology.
Yeah.
Nope.
If you have to say, I'm sorry, but that's not an apology.
Not an
just
apology.
Admit you're wrong and move on with your day.
Pretty much. Anything else on these guys?
Yes, I am, for one, very curious to understand how our friend B&B's research went on OnlyFans. I know that we have had 24 hours plus of this lovely tease, and I think that the gentleman community of the Minifans has been very intrigued by this. So
You know what? Nobody helped me. So I did my research on my own. I didn't log into
There you go.
OnlyFans or anything. So
No,
maybe
you
next
can
time y'all will step
get
up.
around those things. Well, my understanding is just because you have an OnlyFans membership, you still have to apply to each person that you want to look at.
You
So
have
it's
to
kind of like
apply.
well, you know what I mean? Like you have to subscribe to each person. So it's
Okay.
not like
Yep.
you buy OnlyFans and you can see everyone's everything. No, all the good stuff has a little price of its own. So
this is way above my head. So anyways, on my lunch
Yes.
break, I Googled Libby 90 Day Fiance OnlyFans, and I didn't get a lot, but it did bring up a page of all leaked photos from different cast members who have OnlyFans. So like I saw Kalini. I saw
Kalini has an OnlyFans.
Yeah, apparently, well, there was like
Does she take like the muumuu off? Because every shirt she has is built the same, right? Just in 50 different
these
colors.
These are all provocative photos, but I didn't see any nudity at all, but
Gotcha.
close
Okay.
to it. Who else did I see? Karini.
And Paul, they do it together, I believe.
I didn't see him, thank the Lord, because my eyes would be burned out of my
and I think they do it, if you know what I'm saying, on OnlyFans.
We did see that lovely photo of Libby and a feminine product.
Okay. So
okay.
Can we discuss, because this is more interesting than the entire episode?
Yes.
That is a tampon string.
That is a tampon string.
Honestly, I think it's like, photoshopped. I do.
Just own it. What is photoshopped?
The tampon string. It has to be.
If it is or if it isn't, like, it's a fact of life, people. Like, move on.
But like as a female, you know that's there. You're not just like, oh, I forgot.
True.
You know
maybe it would be a good day for pants and no shirt. Maybe switch it up that day. You know, it's not a good day to go bottomless. I don't know. Just making suggestions.
But
what do you know, like right?
Weird things. So maybe one of her OnlyFans requested this photo, as fucked up as that is. We have no idea.
So I had stumbled across a helpful YouTube page where they don't show the OnlyFans pictures because that's kind of like, not fair, but they'll review somebody's OnlyFans. So I found a person who reviewed her photos. So there's no actual nudity from Libby. I guess all of the sisters are the ones that are showing, like the actual honeypot. But she's just so funny. She has that one where she's bent over like in front of her Christmas tree in the sweater. And I just think you have to be true to who you are, and I'm not buying it. I don't buy this at all. So it's just funny. It is just so funny where she's like bent over in front of the Christmas tree like her ass is a present. I don't know, but
I'm actually really shocked that Andre is okay with this.
I am too.
That's a good point, because he didn't want her to have the bachelorette party, right? Yep. He was getting real, yeah. Well, then I guess he realized working sucks, so he might as well just send her off.
He can pimp out his wife so they can have their expensive ass vehicles. So
I was just gonna say, how else are they gonna pay for that Benz? I mean,
yeah,
they seem to live pretty good,
right? So, because we can actually see comments today,
oh
yes,
I'm gonna pull a Dave Cullinane and comments priority at the moment. Dano says good evening. Adam wants to know what Adam in Jersey wants to know what the link is for your OnlyFans B&B. Yeah,
I don't even know what to say.
Okay, all right. There's your answer.
We haven't.
I'm not telling
Abraham hands just yet. Adam also.
She's under a deep alias.
I don't know what that means. Yes, we read the chat, Adam. Yes, it's a Dale Bear Dano. Okay. I think we can.
Okay, so we're caught up on the chat. Yeah, there's I think there's even more than we know for the OnlyFans of cast members. I know, like, obviously Larissa does it. I'm sure Pau does. I mean, I don't know that for a fact, but I'm sure she does.
She's wrestling now.
Allison's girl.
I hate her. Have you seen her wrestling?
Yes.
She's like,
I saw a picture of it. I mean, I've never watched wrestling,
it
so
was the
I don't know.
saddest thing I've ever seen in my life. I don't either, like, and whatever if you do, but it was like
I
you know
watched.
how fake wrestling is? It was like times 10 fakeness. Like you couldn't
Oh, it
even,
was bad.
it was like, it was actually like, I almost felt sorry for her. Almost felt sorry for her. It was so sad. It was so sad.
Interesting. Okay. So there you go. We're up to date, I believe. If there are any new OnlyFans that we come across, we'll make sure to update everyone. We want to stay
Yeah.
on top. Oh, and Stephanie. We forgot about Stephanie. Of course.
Oh,
She has an
I
OnlyFans.
feel like she's fallen off the face of the earth.
She has an OnlyFans with like a full menu. So it's like you can get this for $10, but I will do this for like 15. But if you really want something good, it's like 25. So there you go. Everything comes with a price, right? Okay. So
So.
Jovi and Yara, and I think there's going to be a lot of opinions on these guys. So this is the first that we've seen them for Happily Ever After, and I had to keep reminding myself as I was watching this episode, the baby is 4 days old. I had to keep saying it because I was finding myself with opinions, and I said, I got to hold back. It's 4-day-old baby. I understand.
You know
He's
what?
grocery shopping. Go ahead.
Sorry. I'm
That's fine.
obviously never been in that position of having a 4-day-old child, but I feel like I wouldn't want a camera crew around.
She was wearing white bicycle shorts.
I was like, how?
That
like,
is
what
the most bold
traction do
move
you
I have ever seen. White bike shorts 4 days after having a kid? No.
No. I was like, what she got on under there? Because that's a really risky move.
Yes, that was the first thing I wrote down. And he went grocery shopping in his pajamas. So I think they're really trying to play up like this. Oh, we're new parents and we don't know what we're doing. And
do you think that he doesn't go grocery shopping in pajamas under
no, he
normal
does.
circumstances?
He definitely.
Apparently, I would have thought she'd yell at him like, "Listen, put some pants on, guy." But I guess not.
Did you guys catch how he said that he really liked his partying days, but he's now ready to move on?
This conversation is just old. Yeah, like
but
you know,
brings
you're
home
30.
like a 12 rack of Corona at whatever time in the morning.
And the fact that he needed to get diapers, usually when you have your first kid, people like supply you with enough diapers where you don't need them for 6 months. I was very surprised that they needed any. I don't know.
How hard is it to read how many pounds the diapers hold on a pack? That was my question.
Well, I think he was reading it and he goes, well, they don't have the newborn, so I'll get the 1 month old. So he kind of went with the next best thing. But
I can make a one fit, but I understand that
yeah. So, I mean, she's kind of being emotional, but again, we allow that. I don't know. The white bike shorts was really my big takeaway. So she's very, very weepy. The mom comes over. I have mixed feelings about this. If you want help from your mother-in-law, you're going to have to take some of those comments. I really think that's just life. Allison?
Passive aggressive comments about a newborn and how you're handling it 4 days after you've given birth. There might not be people alive if that happened around me, so I'm not quite sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure how I felt about that. I mean, I just don't appreciate, like, if you're like, oh, you must be cold, why is there no blanket on you? It's just like, hey, like, can you say it in a nice way? Maybe if you're really like concerned about the baby being cold, and they do really need some temperature regulation a couple of days after they're born because they still can't do that themselves. I mean, she did have a hat on the kid, great. And I agree the baby does need to move a little bit, but if the mother-in-law was so concerned about the baby being cold, she could have said, oh, hey, I have a blanket over here. You know, I know when newborns are born, it's hard for them to regulate their temperature. Let me just swaddle her up for you. She didn't have to like be passive aggressive.
It was like, super passive aggressive.
not only that, but it's like, I don't know, maybe I'm taking it personal because I have a 5-month-old, but it's like I feel like moms have enough mom shame and mom guilt and like everything about every decision that we make, especially about your newborn. And it's like, instead of like telling me another thing that I'm not doing right or think I'm not doing right, can you just like be supportive and say something nice? Like maybe she did, maybe we didn't see it, but like I was just like, ugh, this passive aggressive drives me. My mom does that, so it just drives me crazy. Absolutely drives me
Sure.
nuts.
I don't know. I thought some of it was aggressive. She's like, "What are you doing not putting the kid in a blanket?" Like to me that's pretty much blatant criticism, but
Yeah, not okay.
so he's going to go back to work. He's going to be gone for 2 months. I mean, I understand that it's upsetting, but she's like blaming him. She's like, "I came over from another country and I didn't sign up for this." It's like, "Well,
Yeah,
there's a
you did.
pandemic and you got pregnant. Like he didn't do this either. Don't blame him." I don't know. I just don't have a lot of patience for people that complain like that. I really don't.
She
B
did
and
sign
B.
up for this. She knew what his
Yes.
job entails. So
Yes.
yeah, it's extended because he has to quarantine before and after, but that's not his fault.
It's not
So,
his fault.
and I'm sure it's just her hormones all out of whack. So that I'm sure that
Mhm.
plays a little bit into it
Yeah.
too.
Well,
So
yeah. I mean that for sure is, and it seems like her mother-in-law like and her do get along pretty well, and maybe
mhm.
Right.
she'd offer for her to go stay there. And I mean the first couple of months are like brutal, like absolutely brutal. You don't sleep, you don't shower. Like I mean it's just like you are not a human because basically the lack of sleep, right? Anybody who's had a newborn knows this. But for him to be like, oh, she'll see how hard it is when I'm gone. I'm like, what? Like, like, what do you mean she'll see how hard it is when I'm
I
gone?
I think what he was trying to say is she probably is telling him he's not doing enough right now, and he's gonna say, "Well, when I'm gone, she's going to realize that I actually do some things."
Yeah.
Ugh,
And in his defense, also, like, I wouldn't want to be at a job for 2 months away from my family. There's no like, oh, I feel bad for him for having to be gone like that. I don't know. It's a very one-sided uh like woe is me, and I really feel like it's pretty shitty for both of them, so I don't know.
I can see that. Like, I totally took it that has him being like, oh, she'll see what it's like, like kind
Yeah,
of like
right.
she can't handle it. And I was like, dude, like just be like, oh, she's got it. She's a great mom, like maybe it's a me issue, but I saw that a little bit more of criticism than I did him. But I totally see what you're saying now that you say it.
Yeah, and I think that's pretty much going to be the pattern again, so we'll see. B&B, do you have anything you would like to add?
No, I hate them.
No, okay. Fair enough. All
I
right.
don't hate them. This episode, so I'm watching everyone, and I'm like, that person is annoying. That
Sucks.
person is
This one
annoying.
sucks. They're boring.
Sucks.
Yeah,
You're
pretty
annoying.
much.
You're a shit stirrer. You're a dick. Everyone, I was just so grumpy watching it.
Well,
And
I don't
we'll
blame
in
you.
the middle, well, let's get to this right now while we're halfway through. Who did you hate the most in the whole episode? Because I have
Charlie.
mine. Charlie, Allison.
I'm thinking. Hold on. Let me look at my notes.
No, you're fine. I'm gonna go with Tiffany. I have zero patience for her. None. But
Asuelu.
There's so many to pick from.
yeah, I know. It's like a who's who of just
Yeah,
absolute
Asuelu. That's a very
douchebags.
one.
Okay. Well, before we get to them, let's get to I'm so excited. Angela Michael. Guys,
Oh, God.
I don't even know where to start. I'm so excited. So she starts with her fasting, her liquid diet.
Ugh.
They
Going
show
well.
her table at the hotel. She's got what looks like a good, delicious, hearty chicken soup. That looked good.
Yeah.
And like 3 opened Coke cans.
Coca-Cola. Yep. Oh yeah. And she
And
wonders why
like,
her boobies are thousands of pounds each.
Right.
why are there 10 pairs of sunglasses on the table? It's like
Oh,
Oh,
she
I
went to
noticed
like the
that.
dollar store and like she's like, I need the star-shaped ones, I need the heart-shaped ones, I need the yellow ones. She like she was
brought all
feeling
her
like she was in
grandkids-
LA.
She brought all her grandkids' sunglasses on vacation with her. That's all I could think
It's
of.
true. It was bad.
You are a grown-ass lady wearing star-shaped sunglasses. What are you doing?
So her friend comes. Now, this is a good friend.
Mhm.
Her friend comes all the way to LA to like spend all this time with the surgery recovery, and I mean they get right into it. Like the whole like point that she was there to begin with is gone because now all we are talking about is the boobs. That was it. I've never had conversations like this with my friends. B&B?
Yes.
Do you do any of like this and
No, I don't.
demonstrations?
I literally hold them up because
Yeah,
mine aren't that big as
one at a time, and then
Boarding up the north. Don't fucking do that.
I know. I'm like very conscientious about my movements today because I feel like I'm going to be jiffed.
There you go.
But no, I guess I haven't. Maybe not as intense.
Sure. There you go. So yeah, she's talking about how heavy they are. They are in her stomach. Even her friend apparently is aware of how much Michael likes the big boobs, and the friend is nervous about his reaction. So Allison, did you find that conversation odd?
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I am not surprised that her friend knows all her business. I'm just Angela does not strike me as a wallflower. Maybe it's me.
Okay.
But I think that she definitely overshares probably with people about everything because she kind of overshares with us as an audience. So
So you mean when she was FaceTiming with Michael and said you're not going to be able to pull on them anymore? That was an overshare?
Can we stop to talk about that for a second?
Oh, yeah, we can because I rewound it a few times.
Okay.
Pull on them.
Okay. I don't even know.
That sounds like a milking action to me. I'm sorry, but it does.
It sounds like milking a cow. Right? Like pulling on an udder. I don't know if Steve from Providence is in the audience, but we know that he did that at Smith's Country Cheese. And that's what it looks like to me or sounds like to me. Now, who wants to pull on somebody's boobs?
That doesn't sound pleasurable. Maybe I'm doing it wrong. I don't know.
Well, from her demonstration, we can kind of tell there's almost like a tube sock-esque shape happening where they can kind of be like slung around is what so I don't understand. It sounds so bad. I don't understand what the reasoning would be to want to keep that look around. I guess I'll say that is my nice way of saying it.
My 2 cents, Michael and Angela, is that you get the boobs done, they'll look way better, they'll still be big, you can still do whatever you want, you can pull,
do all the things.
Push. But if your boobs looking like some tube socks, it is time to take action.
It's a problem.
Yep.
It's a problem.
Yeah.
So I'm confused. Does Michael think that all these men in her small hometown are going to be like lining the streets for her, or
that was so funny. That was my favorite conversation of the night. Michael with his brother. And he's like, well, what is she getting all these surgeries for? Does she want to be like all hot for a bunch of other guys?
I think he said all sexy.
All sexy, all kinds of sexy.
The only reason that a woman would ever get surgery is to be sexy for other guys. Maybe Angela just wants to feel better about herself.
You know what really annoyed me about the two of them this week is when she was egging on Michael and saying, oh yeah, I had to show him my chest, the doctor my chest. And she was doing it purposely. That's what she said. I was watching that. I'm like, what a bitch. What a bitch.
If he tried to pull that with her, she would get on a plane immediately and go beat him within an inch of his life.
100%.
Like, remember when she got mad that he was on a boat and there was literally a female, there was someone of the opposite sex on the boat. It was like across the room.
Yeah.
Right.
It's very and he obviously he likes a dominating woman. So I mean, he got one. He got one.
I mean, he medically massaged them. I was like, what's a medical massage? The dude was doing his job. He looked at your boobs. He said up, down. You know how many pairs of boobs he probably sees in a day? Like, he's not writing home about Angela's. Like, sorry to tell you. And I think that Michael will be safe. I don't think anybody's going to go after his woman. We shall see, though.
So I'm assuming the interviews that she's doing to us where she's in the blue top, this is her after look,
yes.
Correct?
I was going to say,
yes.
I mean,
you can tell in her face.
It's very obvious.
Her face is very tight.
Yep.
Yeah, her interviews were done after the surgery, so we know that she's going to be okay. And also, if you've seen like the commercials for Happily Ever After, it's her and Michael, and she is like tiny, like for Angela.
I think I saw her on Instagram very recent. I'll have to go back and look because I was like, wow, if that's actually her, I mean, good for her.
She looks really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the only other thing now, I've never had blonde hair. So I guess I don't understand, but like what went wrong here? Because her hair in this hotel, it's an abomination. Like what is that? It looks like it looks like it could just crumple. Is it chemical? Did they do something wrong?
And her hairdresser never did like a deep conditioning. So it's just if she puts any more bleach on it, her hair is going to fall out of her head.
I believe that. It's not good.
Like
it doesn't look good.
Next Door gone wrong. Like Hugh Hefner liked platinum blondes, and that's kind of what they all looked like, except she needs some deep conditioning.
So bad.
She needs to not bleach her hair ever again.
I would agree with that.
Do you think she's going to a hairdresser?
No, she's buying her stuff from Supply. She's literally buying bleach and hair product color and mixing it up, applying it to her roots, and calling it a day. Right. She's not doing anything afterwards. It's very apparent.
It looks terrible.
Yep.
Okay. So they end it with, again, here we go. Another, psycho with a psychic. They're FaceTiming with the psychic to ask how the surgery. I mean, it's just so stupid. So stupid.
I mean, I remember no psychic in my life.
I've never, no.
These people have them on speed dial. It's like unbelievable.
The craziest people go to psychics on the show.
Apparently. I wonder if they're going to like have one on hand. You know how like some attorneys have like a certain medical person on hand if they need,
the resident
set a certain, yeah, right. And they like give them some notes. I wouldn't hate that. So okay.
I think it's funny and worth mentioning also that when the psychic tells Angela she needs to stop smoking, she takes it seriously. But when the doctor and the doctor's assistant and like the entire world tells her that maybe smoking's not a good thing before surgery, it's like, oh, whatever. Like,
well, do you really think you could take a doctor seriously if she's wearing a crop top?
Oh, she's that lady is something else. She's sitting there, her face doesn't move. I was like, what happened to you? I would probably not go to that office if she was my doctor's assistant just because of the way she looks. I don't want to look like that. That's yikes. Like that's like my face needs to move. But the whole I've been smoking for 45 years, like perhaps you should have, I don't know, taken a stab at it before the day before surgery. I don't know. Maybe it's me. I've never been a smoker. I've never smoked anything in my entire life, so I don't know what that's like. But it's like it's not funny. Like she could die. Like that's serious. And you're worried about not waking up. Yet you're acting like chicken noodle soup is radioactive, and you're still smoking cigarettes. I don't understand.
Yeah. Priorities. And she could save all that money and go to a hair salon. What a trade-off that would be.
Cigarettes are so expensive. They're like
problem solving all over the place.
I like it.
Oh man. Okay, so we will go on to Kalini and Asuelu. It sounds like you guys have some big opinions on these guys. I have almost nothing. So, Allison, go ahead.
Okay, so I like how Asuelu, like I shouldn't stereotype, but I like how Asuelu wants to welcome Kalini and he wants to make her feel at home. Yet Kalini is the one going and getting the balloons and putting up the decorations. It's like every birthday party that I've ever been to with a mom, or every birthday party that I've ever put on for anyone. No help at all, right? So I like how Kalani is still out buying the balloons. Now, my only thought about that was, well, maybe she got to escape for 10 minutes and like not deal with 3 children. I'm including Asuelu as a child. So maybe that was her ulterior motive, but I thought that was kind of funny. And then I thought that it was interesting that Kalini, sorry, it's like their names are way too simple.
It's awful.
Kalini was so stressed
Just
out
say the
at
hot
breakfast.
sister.
Yes,
Yeah.
the hot sister.
She was very
so
stressed
pretty.
out.
She's
Yes.
stunning.
Mhm.
Is so stressed out at breakfast that she's considering actually putting cooking wine into her OJ and making herself a little ghetto mimosa. Like, what are we doing here? Like, you can't can you put cooking wine in OJ? Like, would that be good? Anyone?
Worth a
'Cause
shot.
I mean,
It's probably better than
some
dealing with
people
Asuelu.
get desperate enough they're probably drinking mouthwash. So I mean, at that point, she's
I
probably
saw an
ready
episode of
to take
Intervention
about
that.
anything.
Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah.
People actually do
So
that. Yeah. So
they
I
tell her she's going to stay in the scrap room. Now I was like, what in the hell is a scrap room? I was very nervous about seeing this scrap room, but it was apparently a whole room. How do they have this many people in a house and they have an entire room dedicated to scrapbooking supplies? I don't know, but I was worried about what
people with scrapbooking stuff? Shit everywhere. Everywhere.
Yeah, I wouldn't enjoy that. So
I don't believe Asuelu for a minute.
You don't?
No.
Okay.
No. I'm sorry. Someone doesn't change just like that. Nope, not buying it.
Okay.
I didn't
do you play along just because it's like, well, if he's gonna play ball, I'll play ball and we'll just make pretend until we don't?
I guess you have to, because what are you gonna do? I mean, he's letting you live there. So
it's not his
all
house.
staying together.
It's his parent, it's her parent, right? It's their parents' house. So it's Kalini and Kalani's parents' house, right?
True.
So,
yeah.
So I don't think he really has any say in the matter. But I mean, on the one hand, it's like I'd like to believe that he's trying because I try to see the best in people. But I really think he has an ulterior motive, and that is to get out of that house as fast as possible. And it's like, I don't blame him. I wouldn't want to be in a house full of people like that either when I'm trying to raise my kids and have everybody, again, criticizing me about everything that I'm doing and whatever. Not that he's some big contributor to the household, as we know, but I wouldn't want that either. I thought it was interesting though when they were sitting at the table. By the way, those Samoan pancakes, like I need some ASAP.
Those look bomb.
I don't know what that was, but it looked amazing, and I want one immediately.
That entire meal looked good. Yes.
Oh my God. There's clearly a lot going on here that we don't know about, and I think that we saw a little bit of it teased in the next episode. But Kalani knows a lot more than we do as viewers, and I think it was very telling when Asuelu's whole face just changed when they were at the table.
Yeah, he has a switch for sure.
Yeah, I mean, the switch was flipped, and I heard actually on I was listening to 90 Day Cray Cray today that there was some sort of situation with like domestic abuse with him in the past, and it's like I could totally see that. Like he plays off as being this like man child, but when he gets upset or is triggered by something, you can see it in his face, and it's like, so he is
I don't know though. I just to sit at that breakfast table, like, so I think of like my sister and her husband, and if I was at a breakfast table with them and I sat there and said to like my sister's husband, well, sister's husband, how do I know you mean what you say? I just find that very like if I was my sister, I'd be like, fuck you. Like, what are you doing? Why are we picking fights at breakfast on the first day? I don't need this. I guess this is my non-confrontational side, because I'm just like, why are we sitting here saying these things? It's just, I don't know if it's a production push. I don't know, but
it is a little
I'm
out of, yeah, it's out of my character too. Like, I wouldn't have that conversation then, but I truly feel like there's something bigger going on that we don't know about, and maybe Kalani is like ready to kill the dude, and
I think
find out
Kalani is petrified of her husband. I don't know, just the way that she tiptoes around him, and I don't know. I like
she might just be a really passive person.
She could
it's
be.
hard
You're
to
right.
say, so
but I think when the cameras are off and it's behind closed doors, I think he has a nasty temper. I don't know. I just get this weird feeling about him. I could be off base, and I hope I am.
So, no, I agree. I think we're gonna find out things. Should be interesting.
I know was it them or was it Tiffany who was talking to a divorce lawyer? Was it Tiffany? I think it was Tiffany. Tiffany, yeah.
So, we'll get to them, but up next is Brandon and Julia. Okay,
I go Rasha.
Julia. When you go on a vacation to like a nice hotel and a resort, everyone comes home and goes, I want to stay at the nice resort where I was on vacation. Like, this is life. And she goes, oh, I have to go back to doing the same thing over and over every day. Yep. Guess what? That's life.
Yep.
So welcome to the world. Welcome to being a grown-up. That's what it's like. So she's starting to get like almost Natalie-like on me. Is anyone else getting this vibe? She's given him those stares, like, demanding answers, and very bratty. Allison?
I'm just tired of her talking about animals. Like, enough with the fucking animals. I'm like, we saw the tell-all. We know that you don't have a gun to your head. We know that you've completely fabricated the fact that they're making you do this slave labor. Like, I had empathy for her, but not anymore. So enough with the animals. I'm tired of hearing about it.
Yep. Especially when you don't work. She doesn't work. So yeah, go outside and feed a goat and shut up.
Feed the fucking, I'll even say it, feed the pig with the tusks. I'm not tired of hearing about
if you're giving it food, it will leave you alone. Like,
no kidding.
Like, how hard is it to do an hour of work when you literally sit around the house all day?
We have nothing else to do. So,
like, no. How are you not bored? I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, she's bored. So, now this was it's interesting to me that we get Brandon and Julia without Ron and Betty. They were not featured this episode. So just for Allison's benefit, I'm going to say, I think they were on a swingers weekend. Do we all agree with this?
I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
We need to find out.
Yeah, they weren't there. Yes, I want to know more about that, but at the same time, I don't. Kind of like what goes on in the hot tub. I want to know more, but I also don't, because as soon as they said no clothes in the hot tub, I said, okay, we've heard enough. And wait, didn't she say she had to clean like the jizz out of the hot tub, or am I making that up?
I don't think she said that.
I think she said that.
I think she said.
I think she said that
or something. I don't think she said jizz. I don't know if TLC would allow the word jizz.
Okay, fine. Something along those lines. God, what a flashback.
Alice.
God. Okay.
The cream.
Anywho,
oh God, Kevin's all
a lot
excited.
of cream in the hot tub.
Yeah.
So, I lost my train of thought. Okay, so they're going for their green card application.
What's my favorite color? What's your favorite color?
Listen, you have an entire season of evidence taped on a thing that you could just hand to the person and be like, here, What more do you need? Why are you worried about your favorite
They're the
color?
most legit couple. They are
No
up there
kidding.
with one of the most legit couples. Yeah,
Yes. And they
I
don't
agree.
look sus. They don't look like, it's not like
Mohammed and Danielle.
right. It's not Mohammed.
Yeah.
Oh, poor Danielle. Oh, let me tell you. But it is not Mohammed and Danielle. It is not that sort of a situation. They're the same age. They look like they like each other. They have an entire season of 90 Day Fiance
Their
on their
families
hands,
went to France.
Yeah.
right? I
Yeah.
didn't know how you don't know the date that you're married. Like neither one of them knew that, which is a little bit concerning, but otherwise,
I mean, they said it, but they said it very hesitantly, which is right on
she's like,
par
wait,
for
I
a
need a
man,
second.
I suppose. But
I
she was kind of confused on the date too, which as a woman, I don't know. I think it's a little weird, but okay.
Oh, yeah. They try to do this whole like, she's like, well, if I can't stay here and will you come to Russia with me? And he's like, oh, I don't know. Okay, Brandon, I'm gonna give you some advice here. You just lie and say, yeah, of course I'll go to Russia, and then deal with it if you have to. Just say yes, sure, of course, Russia, yes, sign me up. And then when later on be like, yeah, I didn't say that. I don't know. The whole conversation annoyed me and seemed unnecessary.
I agree. They are
Okay.
her jealousy issues are
Ooh, I can't
very
wait
apparent.
for the jealousy issues. I am so excited for this.
Very
I
apparent.
mean,
Brandon, do you not know your wife yet? Do not say I'll introduce you to my friend Melody. We saw her in Las
Oh.
Vegas. Like even I know he shouldn't say that. I'm not saying that's a problem. I wouldn't have a problem with that. She would have a problem with that, and I know it. So I don't know what he's thinking.
yeah, she even knows that she'd have a problem with it. She's like self-admitted. Like, I thought as I was older, this would not be an issue, but guess what? It is. I mean, whatever. At least she's, cognizant of her own
Yeah, she's honest about it. No,
her
Yeah.
own jealousy.
every relationship has their, this is what I'm okay with and this is what I'm not. So
One thing I was actually going
I
to
just
say
can't
about
wait
the
to see it.
immigration stuff that it didn't cross my mind until the 19th time she said she was going to go back to Russia was, I mean, I don't know when this was taped, but our country certainly has its issues with Russia these days. And so the only thing that I could think of that they were like actually worried about was something like that. But it's like, why would that make a difference unless she's like a Russian spy or something? I can't imagine why that would make a difference. But who knows? Like maybe there was more stuff around their country at the time, or who knows, right? That's the only thing I can think of. Otherwise, it's totally ridiculous. She's going to be here, and like, let's move on.
Well, I'm thinking back to the couple, Olga and Steven, and
Yes.
she had the baby in Russia.
Oh, yes.
And didn't they say it's one of the hardest countries to come to the US from? Am I making that up?
Oh,
No, I would imagine so,
I
just
think,
given the political
and I mean, she
tension
was
between
pregnant. Yeah,
the US and Russia right now. By the way, that looked
kind of a thing.
horrific. Holy crap. That was like a
Giving
scene out
birth,
of a horror movie.
oh my God. Hostel.
There is no way.
Yes.
Absolutely no way.
Nope.
We are
That was
so lucky.
terrible. Yes.
But and then I'm not giving birth on a floor in South Africa either.
oh God.
But yeah, I think that in like Middle Eastern countries would probably be the hardest to come from.
Yeah, a lot of vetting.
Yeah, because they really had a problem.
Yep.
So, B&B, do you have anything to add on these guys? They were pretty quick. There's not.
Yeah, there wasn't really much.
Not a ton happening.
Immigration, green card
Yeah,
stuff. So we kind of hit on
they
that.
just seem so young. It amazes me that they're like the same age almost as like Jovi and Yara or, well, Asuelu. I mean, that's a bad comparison, but okay. So we're gonna wrap it up with Tiffany and Ronald. I mean, these people, this girl.
But wait.
This
did you notice? Okay. Did you notice when they show Tiffany? It's just Tiffany. There's no Ronald.
Yeah.
How, like there's always like the couple, like, and they're like, or
right.
It was just Tiffany.
But they're in different countries, so they did that with Angel and Michael, right?
True. Yeah.
They don't. Oh, yeah.
Which leads me to
That's a good point.
believe that something
Ooh,
bad
go.
happened with them, and they refused to film together at all. Conspiracy theory.
Oh, well, we have seen one FaceTime, right?
Right.
Yes.
So far, and everything else is kind of like her doing her own thing. She might be the most self-absorbed person I have ever seen in my life. Everything comes down to, oh well, it's bad for me because, and oh well, boo-hoo for me because I just, like, I don't know what to tell you. You chose to go to South Africa, marry a guy with a criminal past who you knew couldn't come here, start a family with him, and then blame him that he can't come over here. I have no patience for this. And your 2 hummingbird tattoos on your boobs. Sorry. Allison?
Go ahead,
Go
Allison.
ahead.
No, you go.
I mean, my only thought was that Tiffany really likes cold shoulder tops, and so do her friends. And when she was moving into her apartment, I was like,
I know
wow,
what
her
you're gonna
friend
say.
has a cold shoulder top on too. And then it's like, nope, that's Tiffany's mom. Holy crap. I couldn't believe that was Tiffany's mom.
Yeah.
I thought it was her buddy that she was just chatting it up with. Whatever Tiffany's mom's drinking, I need some of that too. Or
They
Tiffany's
have
mom
good
is
genes.
excruciatingly young. Yeah.
Well, Tiffany's what, 29?
Yep.
And she is stunning. So her mom, I mean, is probably 50.
I really
And
thought
she
it was
looks,
her friend that she was just like hanging out with. I couldn't
know.
believe it.
Well, if you get a little leopard dots across your shoulders, it makes you look a little bit younger, I think.
I suppose even the baby was in a cold shoulder top, which I thought was interesting.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
It was like, maybe it was an Instagram post I saw. Maybe she wasn't even on the episode, but like I saw one and it was like a cross with like
she
two
likes the
little straps.
cutouts. Yeah. Yep. I mean, woman knows what she likes.
Absolutely.
So yeah, we didn't even see Ronald, did we?
No.
I don't remember. No.
That's fine.
So she's getting her own place, which means she's going to complain a lot about, oh,
Nope.
I have to cook meals and oh, I have to clean up. And yep, well, guess what? That's life.
So
I'm mentally preparing for it. Yes.
Is she gonna go there? I forget.
No,
she canceled the tickets.
That's right. So
I'm sorry, that's a bitch move.
Are they ever gonna be together? That's nice.
It doesn't sound like they want to be, I guess.
Which is probably why she's gonna go talk to a divorce attorney.
Yeah, I mean, she said, okay, so a couple things. She said she canceled the tickets and like instead went and rented an apartment. So, to think that Ronald is going to make the same amount of money in South Africa that these tickets cost in America is kind of ridiculous. I mean, if you can rent an apartment with that money, yeah. So that's number one. So I feel like that's a little bit unreasonable, but also like, why are you, I don't know. Anyway, like that would not be my priority. Like, I don't know. It's not fair to your kids to not see their father. Like point blank period. Like you were the one who made this decision to marry this person, to have a baby with him, and then to move back to America. Your daughter didn't do that. And your son didn't do that. And not that he's his biological son. I don't think that matters. They have a really good bond with each other. That's not fair. That's not fair. So it should be interesting to see how this kind of pans out, because whether or not you want to be married to the father, it's still his children.
Yeah, I don't.
She's in a long haul. Yeah. Go ahead, BB.
I don't see this ending well at all. I kind of feel like they're going to get divorced and he's just going to disappear.
SOL, pretty much.
Yeah.
Sad.
That's what it seems like.
I feel bad. I feel bad for their daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah, me
Daniel too.
And
I mean,
Tiffany strikes me as the type that she's probably sitting in that apartment going, your dad's not here, or like, because he doesn't want to be, which, I mean, isn't really the truth. So I hope that doesn't get dragged into it, but her personality, to me, everything about her says that's what's going to happen. So
Yeah.
it sounds like she's 29 and has never lived on her own. That was the impression I got. And it sounds like her and the mother live with grandmother. They all live in this nice house. So, I mean, if she thinks was hard before, when she goes to live all by herself with these two kids, it's going to be very hard.
Yeah.
All the cooking, all the cleaning, all the child responsibilities, everything. So
Yes.
good luck.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Well, good luck. So, no, thank you. Okay, so we're done with our couples. Allison, did you want to add anything about Discovery Plus? I haven't indulged yet. Have you indulged?
Okay. So, I have caught up with all of the episodes that are available of Single Life.
Holy moly.
The tell-all. So the last episode was they drop on Sundays. So the last episode dropped on Sunday, and then the tell-all is coming up, and it looks very juicy. Now,
Good.
I will, spoiler alert, fast forward 30 seconds if you don't want to hear this. I'm just kidding. So Danielle and her dating life is it's so cringy to watch. I can't even begin to describe. Like, my insides right now are just like
she has a very nervous energy. Very nervous energy.
I feel so bad for her.
Feel bad
but
for
also
her.
I feel like why is she on here at the same time? Like, it's almost not fair that they put her on this show. She giggles all the time. She's just very awkward as a person. I don't know how she made it, like, and had 4 children and like is in nursing school. Like if she was my nurse, I would be like, oh my God, I'm going to die. Like, she is just so nervous about everything. And I like people like that. Ugh. She ends up dating a man. She goes on a date with a bunch of people, but she ends up going on a date with a guy that she matched with back in her hometown. And they actually seem to be getting along very well. And I think, like, I hope it works out for her. They seem like they get along, but she has this revelation in the middle of the season that Mohammed telling her that she smelled in a certain area has prevented her from being able to open up to people. And so she has to go and
open up her legs.
That's a terrible choice of words on my part.
Sorry.
Choice, one or the other. She has to go and tell every person that she interacts with, every man that she goes on a date with, that her ex-husband said that she has a smell down there. I shit you not.
She tells these men this?
She tells people that? Did she use the word that he used?
What word did he use?
Marsh.
Oh,
what?
Which I feel terrible. That should never be done. That is borderline abusive to be done on TV when he said that.
Like,
but
listen,
if she's repeating it, I mean,
that's So no, but she is, and she goes on a second date with this guy, and they're talking about their previous relationships. They go axe throwing. Can you imagine her axe throwing? It's as horrific as you imagine it. They sit down. They're having a drink on a tree stump. And they're talking about their previous relationships, and she's like telling him about her 4 kids and how her husband left her one day and just never like returned. And then she's like, and then my last ex-husband, and then she just starts
I'm dying.
I mean, like, hysterically, like, starts crying. She's like, I can't do this. She gets up, she goes into this hallway. They're in like some warehouse. She goes in the hallway. The producers are talking to her, and she's like, with Mohammed, this is the first time that, I've ever had to tell a man this. And everyone on the Pillow Talk is like, don't talk about the smell. Don't talk about the smell. Don't talk about the smell. And she goes and tells him. She sits back down and she's like, I'm okay. And then she's like, my husband said that I have a smell down there. And I was just like, you can kiss this date goodbye. Like,
I feel really bad for her.
If you said that to a man,
awful. I am laughing because I'm uncomfortable.
Yes,
I want to be very honest.
Oh, it was horrific to watch.
Okay, I'm sold. I need to watch this.
He's the one, because he stayed and he was like, and he gave her a kiss at the
What?
end of the night, and he gave her another kiss when he dropped her off, and he texted her after he left. So I think that this is the one for her because he is not scared of a little swamp crotch. So
like, is he a normal looking
oh,
man?
he's not
Yeah,
bad.
who's the upper hand here?
He's like, okay, for like, not to be mean, but like for like a Danielle, like he's not bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Good.
Okay,
All
well,
right.
this made me
I hope she
significant-
finds happiness and sees an OBGYN. So that's what I think
I can't
needs
believe
to
he
happen
said
there.
that.
Like, gagging my throat. I can't either.
Oh, that poor
Like,
woman.
nobody could.
That's-
Okay,
The
I'm gonna get it.
Happily
I
Ever
need
After-
to get caught up.
I think
Yeah,
I
Happily
think I'm
Ever
gonna
After-
subscribe right after this because I want to watch that to be
I will
that
say
uncomfortable.
though, it is probably the only show that like I'm actually even interested in watching on Discovery Plus, just kind of like looking through what's on there.
Okay.
But like it is worth like a free trial, or like me logging in with your friends login and just
But it's
binge watching
over. Are
Single Life.
they gonna do something else to fill that, or?
I don't know. I think that they should do another one,
Ooh,
honestly.
okay.
So I can
Yeah.
go back and watch all of this
Well.
on there.
Oh yeah. So when I got the login,
Oh, I gotta see.
I think the season was actually almost over. So it's over now, and now I have to wait for tell-alls. So and you get an episode of Pillow Talk too. So I went and watched all the episodes, and then I went back and watched the Pillow Talks for each of them. So
Wow, due diligence. There you
So
go.
do
I like the
you
Pillow
guys
Talk. So
I know
might
you've
have to
seen the
get that.
commercials, Extreme Sisters.
oh, I can't with that.
I've seen the commercials.
I've seen the
Yeah.
commercials and I'm a little interested in watching it.
I mean, report
Oh,
back
there
if
you
you
go.
do.
Yeah.
I mean, if HEA stinks like this, I wouldn't mind we do like a 2-show, just a quick recap of each if we all have a common interest, just because no one wants us to come back next week and bitch about Andre for another 20 minutes, and I'm going to be out of things to say. So, they stink. What else are we going to say? So we'll have to
Single
put our
Life
heads together
is-
and see what we want to do.
Okay.
Single Life is leaps and bounds better than Happily Ever After has been. So
You know
far. I
what?
we're
One of
only a
us is
couple
just going to have to
episodes
join
in, but
OnlyFans and report back on our findings.
You're gonna regret saying that.
Okay. Now, when you say
100%.
join, do you mean be a content creator of, or do you mean be a purchaser of content?
Oh, I'm not.
Because
I'm
I
not
think
fucking,
there's
I'm
a
not creating
big
any fucking-
difference between saying.
That's what I thought you were saying.
I'm not creating fucking
Jokingly,
content.
of course.
So
Not there's anything.
You're gonna
no.
put your long sweater on, just long enough, and
She's like
one
sticking
leg
her
up on the
leg-
wall.
like,
I'll
like,
put on-
what are we doing? Like, what is this?
You remember when we
pose?
did
Like,
that stupid Liz Gonzalez video and I had my hood
Yes.
on? I'll wear
Yes.
that.
oh,
There you go. Yes.
yes. I'll try to get my stroke. face.
Surely
Oh,
there
and-
has to be some freak who's willing to watch a woman in a bathrobe.
Listen, there's some freaks that
Girl,
appreciate
there's
my
plenty.
Bell's palsy face. We won't name any names, but
Ooh,
there are
who?
some
No, we
people out
name on
there.
this show.
No,
No name. We
I'll-
name on this
I'll
show.
protect the guilty.
Actually, I have a
Do
feeling
it.
I know who it is. So.
You
Oh,
probably
Okay,
do.
I think we're done.
All right. Well,
we'll see you
ladies,
next
It was
week.
wonderful.
Okay.
We'll talk about. We'll maybe talk
Yeah.
about Single Life. Maybe.
Maybe. Yeah, I mean, more so. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.